Hi everybody, welcome to the Sky Diary for September 2021. The skies are now getting very dark, early evening, so I'm getting a little bit more active, but there's plenty to see in the night sky. Virtual Astronomy Club, just a reminder, is coming back on the 28th of September, so put it in your diary and please come along and join us, and you can join us, all details on the virtual-astro-club.com. So come along and join in the astronomy fun. The Sky Diary, of course, is available on TeamUp. You can carry it around with you. So all the details, all the graphics you're seeing on this video are available. Go to star-gazing.co.uk/diary, and the diary looks something like this. So you can see the black dates are all the things that have happened in spaceflight, gradually adding more as I go, so anniversaries of things and stuff like that. The red one is events that might be going on that I know about, so I add them in there. And then the blue one is all the dates and all the graphics that you see in the Sky Diary that I show you here. So just go to star-gazing.co.uk/diary, download the app, carry it around with you. Don't forget, if you find the Sky Diary useful, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So let's have a look and see what's happening this month. Okay, so it's September. Skies are getting darker. Let's have a look. So 15th of the month, 10 o'clock in the evening, universal time. Look towards the north. These are the circumpolar constellations that never set from the UK. So you can see Ursa Major almost at its lowest in the sky below Polaris, which is of course in Ursa Minor. Up here, Draco meandering its way between the two bears. Cassiopeia over there, the W shape or M shape, depending on which way you're looking at it. Camelopardalis there as well, and then the indistinct constellation of Lynx over there, just in front of the nose of the Great Bear. If we look towards the south, these are the stars that are at their highest for the month, and of course there's two very bright objects shining down there. Jupiter, the brightest of those, which is in Aquarius, and you've got Saturn there as well in Capricornus. I'm not going to say too much about the two planets, but very nice. Have a look because they're looking really lovely at the moment. Sagittarius down here is getting very low now, and a Fucus as well. Got Pisces over here. Cygnus is well up, almost overhead. Aquila along the Milky Way there quite nicely, and Pegasus over here. And of course in between those you've got Sagittarius and Delphinus as well. So looking west, 15th of the month again, 10 o'clock universal time in the evening. So we've got the constellations that are setting. So Ursa Major, I said, was at its lowest in the sky. And you've got Bootes here, the herdsman, and the bright yellow star Arcturus just about to set. Corona Borealis not following far behind. A Fucus, you just see the top part of the constellation there, and Sagittarius, you can see the teapot is almost set. Hercules is still fairly high at that time of night, but it is getting lower as the evening progresses. Aquila still fairly high up, but it's starting to get lower in the sky. So if we look east, these are the constellations that are starting to rise at 10 o'clock at night, universal time. Auriga, so the bright star Capella there, is just about northerly enough for it to not set from the UK, especially from my location. Perseus just over here, and you've got Andromeda, the Andromeda Galaxy just over here, Pisces and Cetus all coming up, and of course we've got Taurus down here, and you've got the beautiful Pleiades star cluster, and you really know that when you see the Pleiades arriving above the horizon before midnight, you know that winter's well on its way. So let's have a look at the planets for the month. Mercury reaches eastern elongation on the 14th of September, but despite the fact it's a fair distance away from the sun, it does stay very low to the evening western horizon after sunset and sets very, very quickly. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge to spot low down just after sunset. Venus, again, is visible in the western evening sky after sunset, does stay very low down, and that reaches eastern elongation on October the 29th, but it's never really going to get very far above the horizon for the rest of the year. Mars, that's now slipped into the twilight, so it's lost, it's getting closer to the sun, so we're not going to see that for quite a while. And the next opposition is the 8th of December next year, so that's when we're going to start seeing Mars at its best again. But of course, we should start to see it from spring onwards for most of next year. Jupiter and Saturn, they're low down in the south. They're one of the first things you'll see in the middle of the month at 10 o'clock, low in the south. And then Uranus, visible low in the eastern sky towards late evening and into the morning sky. And Neptune is at opposition at its best opposite the sun on the 15th. Now, Mare Orientale, which is this wonderful impact scar on the surface of the moon, is visible when there's a favourable libration. So here's part of it shown here. And you can see how the wobbling of the moon brings it into view on these different nights that I imaged it across there. And 2nd to the 4th of September is a good opportunity to try and see Mare Orientale there, but it's not the best one of the year. We've got a few more opportunities this year when it's nicely visible. There's the 2nd of October, 29th of October, the 27th of November, but the best one of the year when it's going to be pushed out towards us a little bit further than the rest of them is going to be on the 23rd of December. So a nice Christmas present there for us to be able to see Mare Orientale really presented nicely to us. On the 3rd of September, the moon is close to Castor and Pollux in Gemini. So here's Gemini, the two twins holding hands. And then you've got Cancer down here, Canis Minor with the bright star Procyon there, and you can see the moon should look really, really nicely in the eastern morning sky about 4 o'clock in the morning. So get out and have a look, because that should look really, really nice. On the 4th of December, the moon's moved a little bit further across, so from here to here, and you can see it's just in Cancer there, and it's just north of Messier 44, the open cluster Praesepe or the Beehive cluster. So about 4 o'clock eastern morning sky on the 4th of September. And if we look at a little bit closer, here's what the moon looks like. I've exaggerated the size of the moon just for clarity purposes. And you see the cluster and you see the thin crescent moon, and the earth shine should be wonderful. So it could be quite a nice photographic opportunity to get the two in the same field of view at the same time. So get out there 4 o'clock in the morning on the 4th of September and see if you can see that close to the Praesepe star cluster. Okay, 5th of September, the extremely thin crescent moon is visible. It's moved from here, just above Praesepe, a bit further down, and you see how much thinner that crescent is, and the earth shine should be fantastic. That's a little bit later at 4:15 in the morning on the 5th. So it's Canis Major, Cancer, and Leo, the sickle of Leo, just poking its head up above the horizon there. But you do need a fairly good eastern horizon to be able to see that. The next morning, on the 6th of September, we got a ridiculously thin crescent moon visible low in the brightening dawn. Here it is. It's going to be ridiculously thin, but we have to wait until about 10 to 5 in the morning. The sky is going to be quite bright. So this is the sickle of Leo again, but you're really not going to be able to see many of those stars in that bright twilight as the sky is getting bright. And Regulus here, you may just be able to pick that out, especially if you've got binoculars or a telescope. But the moon should look absolutely wonderful. But again, you do need a good eastern horizon to spot that. So the moon is new on the 7th of September. Here it is here. So that's going to be when all the deep sky stuff is going to be out. So we're looking forward to the moon disappearing and getting some really nice dark skies, if the weather lets us, of course. Okay, 9th and 10th of September, the thin crescent moon comes out of the twilight into the evening sky. And on those dates it's fairly close to Venus. So here it is, here's the moon. So again, this should show some beautiful earth shine, and here's Venus showing up really, really nicely. And that's on the 9th of September at about 6:40 Universal Time in the evening. And then the next night, the 10th, at about the same time, you can see the moon's moved past Venus, but it's still fairly close by. I've put the constellations in these last two charts, but you're really not going to see many of those stars at that time because the sky is going to be very bright indeed. Okay, 12th of September, this is now at 7:20 in the evening, Universal Time. The moon passes north of Antares. That's about the best view we're going to get of it passing north of Antares. And you can see here's the moon here, and then Scorpius with the bright red star, the red giant star Antares here, and you've got Libra and Sagittarius over here, and the Milky Way coming out quite nicely. So see if you can capture that. And then the Fucus, the serpent bearer, is still quite high up in the sky at that time. 13th of September, we've got the first quarter moon, so that's going to start interfering in the evening sky with all us deep sky observers and images. And then the 13th of September, when we get the first quarter moon, the lunar X is normally visible. Now, this is a clear, obscure effect, and that is going to be between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock that particular night. And there's the lunar X here, and it's formed by the crater walls of Blancanus, Lecae, and Purbach craters. But it's going to be a bit difficult. The lunar V is also going to be visible between those times, and that's in the southern part of Mare Vaporum, close to Rima Hyginus. Here's the Rima here showing up quite nicely, but the moon is going to be very low down in the southwestern sky, and it sets before the lunar X and the lunar V are showing at their best. So this is probably one to leave until another month when the moon's a bit higher and we can see it a lot better. 14th, Mercury is at greatest eastern elongation, but after sunset it's way too low in the southwestern horizon after sunset. So this is the view at about 6 o'clock in the evening. You can see the sky is so bright, by the time that gets dark enough, Mercury is going to be below the horizon. So it's going to be a real struggle to see it despite being so far away from the sun. It's in the constellation of Virgo. I've showed the constellation lines there, but you're not going to see any stars to be able to pick those constellations out. 14th of September, Neptune reaches opposition, so it's at its best that it can get, opposite the Sun. It's at magnitude plus 7.8, and it's visible in the southern sky all night. So you can see down here we've got Jupiter, which is in Aquarius, Saturn, which is in Capricornus, and you've got Cetus over here, and Neptune is here just below the circlet in the constellation of Pisces there. And if you've got a small telescope, you do need binoculars or a small telescope to see it because it is way below naked eye visibility. But if you look with binoculars or a small telescope, you should be able to hopefully pick out the greeny, bluey green disc. And if you've got a good telescope or got imaging, you can see the moon, Triton, just off the planet here that I took a few years ago. These are 3 background stars, but this is Neptune and this is Triton here. Between the 15th and the 25th of September, Comet 67P Churyumov-Gerasimenko passes between the Pleiades and the Hyades star cluster. It's about 11th magnitude, visible from late evening, so you should be able to pick it up with a reasonable telescope. So here's the path of the comet. So you've got Orion just visible here, Gemini just over here, Taurus, which is where the comet's going to go through during the month, the Pleiades just up here, and there's the Hyades with Aldebaran, the red eye of the bull. So here's where the comet's going to be on the 1st of September, so just to the right of Taurus. 15th of September, so mid-month, it's going to be just not far from the Pleiades star cluster at all, and then moves in between the Pleiades and the Hyades, just skipping the top of the Hyades star cluster here, and then by the 1st of October the comet is in that position there. So that's the progression of the comet throughout the next month or so, and then 30th of October it's moved into Gemini, the twins over there. So say I will put more details of this on my blog, so have a look out there for more details of that. Okay, 16th of September, the variable star Algol in Perseus reaches minimum brightness. It's usually about magnitude plus 2.2, so easy visible to the naked eye, and then drops to about plus 3.5 magnitude. So those ups and downs in brightness are easy to follow with the naked eye, but if you go out there past midnight on the 16th of September, have a look towards Perseus, which is there, find Mercury, which has got this wonderful little cluster of stars around it, and then this is the star Algol, the demon star as it's also known, which has been known for a long time to be variable. So have a look out and see it at its minimum brightness, and then go out another time away from that time and take another picture, compare the two, and you'll see just how much that brightness has changed. 16th of September, the moon passes south of Saturn. So here's Saturn over here, here's the moon, lovely gibbous moon. It's going to blot out a lot of the deep sky stuff, but never mind, that's fine. And then the next night on the 17th, the moon's moved across a bit, so it's almost midway and below Jupiter and Saturn in the southeastern sky. And then the 18th of September, it's moved on a little bit, so it's nearer to Jupiter, but much further away from Saturn. So you can see the progression of the moon as it approaches full. 20th of September is full moon, so that's going to stop us doing lots of deep sky stuff, but I'll probably continue to do hydrogen alpha stuff at that time because you're able to do that when the moon's full. So 26th of September, the moon passes between the Hyades and the Pleiades star clusters in Taurus. So look towards the east at about 4:30 in the morning and you should be able to see that. Here's Orion, and then of course notice just how visible the winter constellations are now because they're really coming up. We know winter's definitely on its way. Canis Major, completely visible now. And of course Taurus with the Pleiades and the Hyades star cluster with the moon quite nicely there. Just a reminder, the Virtual Astronomy Club, trying to keep astronomy sociable, online restarts on the 28th of September, so make a note in your diary. And if you want to join us, come to virtual-astro-club.com and join in. All details on the website. 29th of September is the last quarter moon, so the moon's starting to get out of the way quite nicely, especially in the evening sky. So nice dark skies coming back for the deep sky stuff. And then before I finish, I'll just talk about Comet Leonard, show you where it is in the sky at the moment. So this is the map of the path between January and November this year. And you can see how it sweeps around the sky. Here's Bootes, the herdsman, Canis Venatici, and of course Ursa Major and Dubhe and Merak over here. And of course the comet has gone from the 1st of January, 1st of February, March, April, May, June. It's swung around past the pointers, July and August. So here where it is on the 1st of September, right by the pores of the Great Bear here. So it's quite low down, especially in the evening sky at the moment. I'll talk about that in a moment. And then 1st of October it swings around and then comes round here to November. So where is it? Here it is. So it's swinging around here in the pores of the Bear. It's around about 13th magnitude, so it is starting to brighten a bit, and hopefully towards the end of the year it should be quite really nice. It's within the pores of Ursa Major, and it's low in the northwestern sky in the evening once it gets dark, so it's a bit of a challenge for me because it goes behind the neighbour's house, which is a bit of a shame. But I should be able to pick it up in the northeast before dawn because it's starting to climb higher in the sky then. So that should be easier for me, but I've got to get up early to get it. So here's the path. So here's where it is on the 1st of September, 15th of September, 30th of September, and then the 31st of October. It's down here. So you can see it's doing this swing around the pores of the Great Bear as it's approaching perihelion. Getting brighter, hopefully give us a good show later. Okay, hope you found that useful. The Sky Diary is available on TeamUp, star-gazing.co.uk/diary. So download the app, get the diary, and you can follow along what's happening. All the diagrams and everything are going to be on there. So if you found the Sky Diary useful, don't forget, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you very much, folks. See you all later.